What's up, my pals? Angryponcho here, and we are playing Minecraft because I am having a hell of a time getting my computer science project to work. So I'm taking an hour off to try and get my shit together, so to speak. I also wanted to show you guys my new Sea of Sprites that I've been working on. Bonus points if you can identify all these characters. Hopefully you can. If you haven't, you've missed out on some seriously good games. Okay, so I figured in this video I would make another sprite. And it is going to be Cecil. I'm going to put him right above Rydia, because that's where he should be. And what I'm planning on doing is putting all 5 of the most, well, what I think are the best characters from FF in here. So probably put, I guess he needs to be in the front row though, doesn't he? So I probably should put him out here. Maybe... Yeah, this is the first step of pixel art. Well, the first step is having to go online and find an image, which I guess I will edit into this video if it doesn't take too long. But, oop, is it raining? Yep, let's turn that off. Here's another great thing about too many items. You can turn off the rain. You can set the time to sunrise, and this is new to the 1.0 version. I really like it. They basically included the 2 most commonly used single-player commands. So now I can just install too many items. I don't even need single-player commands. I think if I put him right there, that's far enough out for it to look like he's in the front row. That's fine. It'll make it easier to get them all in one picture, too. Okay, so basically, the first step is to go online and find an image. The one I'm using will be on the video. And the next step is to just pick out your colors that you're going to use. So you can see for this picture here, which I'm assuming is in the right place, we got a black outline, so we'll start with that. I'm just going to toss all this other stuff over here. These are the colors that I used to make a robo over on the right. And I'm also seeing that he has some red in him, and it looks like some other blues as well. Blue, and then a light blue as well. Which one do I want to use? Use light blue. And then there's a yellow in his hat. And that's enough for right now. We'll just do the outline. That's how I always start, is with the outline. And here with this too many items, you can actually turn on what's called creative mode up here. And it essentially means you go into creative mode. And you can turn it on and off. So you see I have an inventory, and this is my actual survival inventory. And then here's my pixel art inventory. It's really handy because I can have both the Sea of Sprites and my survival world in the same world. I don't know if switching between them messes with your... No, it doesn't mess with your experience either. That's nice. So that's a good addition to the game. That's taking the game and legitimately improving it. So I'm starting in the bottom right corner of his body, and I don't think I'm going to leave the image on the screen for the whole video. If I do, it'll probably be stuck in the corner or something, because I don't want it to block too much of the video. This is what I've been doing the past couple days when I've needed a break from my studies. It's sort of relaxing, you know. It's like making art. It pretty much is making art. Well, copying art. It's like transferring art from one medium to another. It's like taking a fine oil painting and drawing it as a pencil sketch or whatever. So I want to go up now. How many do I want to go? Ooh, it's hard to tell in the picture, isn't it? That's not the best image out there, I'm sure, but it's the best one I could find in the 5 minutes I spent looking for this video. It looks like 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we go out and put 3. So this is what I've been doing recently. I'll turn on Kurt J. Max videos. And I had to catch up because I hadn't watched any in a while. Looks like a blue one next. Just put that there to help keep track of where we are. But that was interesting. I saw actually his 8-hour live stream. Well, I saw about 20 minutes of it before the low frame rate just really bugged me, so I quit watching. It really seemed like he was having a good time, though. He had some guests on, and I didn't recognize anybody, like any of his guests. I didn't know who any of them are if he hadn't introduced them. Let's see. Well, yeah, apparently he raised loads of money for Child's Play charity, which I think is awesome. You guys have been telling me in the comments that the far lands really are gone still in 1.0 as much as they were gone in beta 1.8. God, it's so confusing now that Notch went back from 1.8, he went down to 1.0. I'm checking the left edge to make sure I did it right. Always got to stop periodically when you're making pixel art and make sure that you're following your reference image. I've gotten pretty decent at doing it. You see, a lot of the time I end up facing the wrong direction, so I'm looking down the pixel art rather than up. Why is Link's... Oh, it's not, his sword's not out of the water. It just looks like it was from this angle. That's a weird optical illusion because of how blue the color is. Anyway, whatever. Oops, what am I doing? That's the wrong button. Let's see. Oh, but yeah, my schedule is, well, to be frank, busy enough that I shouldn't be doing this. This is probably the first time I've actually... but I need a break, man. I've been killing myself this week. There's just been too much stuff going on. And I have basically 2 assignments left. And then the semester is over, except finals, which are kind of a big ending piece that I'm going to have to deal with soon. But I feel really confident about my comprehension for the finals, so that's not stressing me out too much. What I'm more worried about is this computer science project that I've been working on for about 8 hours the past couple days. Gosh, there's a really long zigzag line on the right side of his head, and I'm having a hell of a time making sure that I'm doing the right number of zigs, the right number of zags. I think that this is where the... Whoops. I think this is the right number. 1, 2, 3... Yeah, okay, that's right. Oops, don't delete that. Ugh, sometimes I get a little bit frantic and start putting things in the wrong place, just sticking them all over, and that gets to be a mess. So I think now I'm going to come down on his jawline and connect to the other side. This is a good way to check and make sure that you've been doing things right. Yep, it matched up perfectly. Great. See, if those hadn't matched, I would have known that I'd messed up somewhere out there, because I wouldn't have come back to exactly where I thought I should be. Put those blue ones there just for reference to make it easy for us. Let's see, I'm gonna go ahead and fill in his hat while we're up here. His hat. It's like a crown or something, isn't it? I don't know. I've never played a Final Fantasy game. Does that make me lose street cred as a gamer? I don't think so. They're a series that's really popular among people who like them. Which, well, that's kind of a dumb statement, isn't it? It's sort of vapid. Yeah, people who like it, like it. What I'm saying is, if you like one Final Fantasy game, you probably like a few of them, at least. Not all of them necessarily, but a few, I'd say. And there's not too many series that do that. I feel like a lot of people will enjoy, at least this is how I am about some games. I'll enjoy the first one, but then the second one sort of meh. Didn't like it as much. Mass Effect. Someone asked me how I feel about Mass Effect games, or whether or not I'd ever LP one. I might LP one someday. They're kind of long games, and if I were going to LP one, it would be the first one, since I liked it so much better than the second. I didn't like the second one because I didn't like it as much. I liked them both. I just didn't like the second one as much as the first. And part of it was because they didn't give you infinite ammo. I like that reheating mechanism rather than actually having to find ammo. Because I get enough of that. Actual keeping track of how much ammo I have left in RPGs type games. I don't need it in Mass Effect. I was kind of hoping, and it actually played well into the sci-fi aspect of it, that you don't have to keep track of how much ammo there is in your gun, and it overheats when you use it too much. Did I line those up right? I think I did. Yeah, that matched up perfect. And then here there should be one diagonal piece. Okay, that looks good. Just doing the black bits first. This is how I start, at least. Get the outline down. And then here, I think I probably will be leaving his image on the screen, and hopefully you guys will be able to follow along, or at least tell what the heck's going on. Ugh. I don't know if you guys, when you build pixel art, if you do this the same way as me, so let me know in the comments if I'm doing something silly that I could improve on. I'm always looking to improve. 1, 2... Oh god, okay, go back down. I have to look back and forth. Normally I have this all on, well, let me put that one back. Normally I have this all on one screen, but today I've got it split up because I wanted to have my Minecraft full screen over here while having the picture on the other monitor. I actually have 2. I think that's all the black. Let's check. That looks like Cecil. Okay. I'm going to step back for a second, sit back in my chair, have a look. It seems that I've pretty much got it here. And if I notice I missed a spot, I can always add it later. Right now, I think I'm going to move to the next color, which I'm going to do the dark blue next. Now, one thing you're probably wondering is why the hell am I building these in the ocean? Well, part of it is that I didn't really think it through very well. I'll be honest, because it would have been much better to build these on a frozen ocean. That way I don't have to stick blocks on the side of other blocks, and I can actually just build on top of the ocean. But, whatever. This makes it a little more interesting for me. And I wanted, the second reason is I actually wanted to be able to call it the Sea of Sprites, which I had a Sea of Sprites in another world, and it was on a frozen ocean. Which is, I don't know, like the frozen Sea of Sprites? That's not as good. So this one's actually going to be the Sea of Sprites, and I'm probably going to actually steal some of my sprites from the other sea. If you didn't notice, a couple of those were on the other one, and I've since redone them. I have not copied them in MC Edit or anything like that. I just went ahead and did them over. I'm going to go ahead and do the light blue next, because I think that's all the blue. There wasn't very much of it. Here, whoops, not up there. Dude, ridiculous. Now the one thing about this choice is that I have to make sure it's always daytime, or the Endermen will spawn on the wool out here, and they will eat the blocks, essentially, because they pick them up and they put them back in the wrong place, or they pick them up and fall in the water and die, and the block disappears. So at some point I'm going to go around and put, I don't know, glowstone or something around here, just something to make it so that they don't spawn on the art. I have no idea. I could just put a layer of glass over the ones that are done so that there's not space for them to spawn, because I don't think mobs will spawn on transparent blocks, so they won't spawn on grass, or glass, excuse me. I see that in his hat here, or hood, or crown, or whatever it is, that there are multiple tones of light blue, but given the limited color palette of Minecraft, I'm for now just going to put them all as light blue, and if it doesn't look right, which I think it will, it looks fine, just from this cursory glance, I can always go back and add more detail. It took me a few tries to get... Oh goodness, I asked you guys, Steve, if you could name them in the comments, and now I'm going to go ahead and start saying them, but whatever. It took me a while to get Frog and Robo and Chrono to work properly, or at least to look like them, because they use such a wide variety of colors. Let me go over here and see. Like, you can tell it's Chrono, I hope, and it looks sort of right to me, but it's not... I had to use a lot of colors that were a little too bright, and the purple's a little too purple. I don't know. And then for Frog, his sprite uses 6 different shades of green, and so I went in and used green wool, white. Oh no, yeah, the white. Okay, green wool, 2 kinds of leaves, dirt with that had grass grow on it, and I think I actually had another kind of wool somewhere. I don't know. There was a couple spots that were different. And then Robo had like 4 different colors ranging from yellow to brown with orange in the middle. And so I ended up using yellow, and then my mushroom block was the right color orange. And hopefully, it's hard to tell when you're really up close because the certain colors stand out more than they should, but as you zoom out, it's like, oh, yeah, that's Robo. Okay. Color scheme's not exactly right. He's got purple dots on the edges, but yeah. Yeah, Cecil's already coming together nicely. He seems to be the right size. I think I had him right in about the right place, too, so that one looks good. I think I'm going to do red next. Let's drop in. I'm hoping this video won't be too long, because I'd like to put it out tonight, and if it gets to be too long, it's going to go up really late, since it's already 9 o'clock. Ah, this project has been killing me. Do you guys don't know anything about computer science, nothing like really technical at least, I wouldn't think. Do we have any computer science majors that are subscribed to me? Just curious. I probably don't, considering there aren't too many computer science majors. It's one of the smaller majors at my school. But it would be kind of cool, actually, if one of you guys was a computer science major. But right now I'm hacking into an operating system and changing the policy that determines how it allocates memory to processes, and it's confusing as hell. I mean, I know exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. The problem is that we have to work in this operating system called Minix, which is a humongous pain in the ass to work with. It's just awful. And the reasons that it's awful are sort of hard to explain without going into technical terms, but it's not documented well, so like it doesn't have comments that explain why things are where they are and how things work. It's not, and it's sort of just a mess sometimes, and that the online help that we're supposed to be able to use is not helpful, to say the least. What color green do I want to use for his eye? It's not quite the right green, is it? I need a lighter green. Like, see, I don't want to use the leaves. I could try the lime. I don't know. Which of these is the right color? They're like both equally wrong. I'll just use the darker for now, I guess. Screw it. I don't want it to be bright. I want it to pop. I want it to look good. Alright, now it looks like there's some white back here behind his eye. Gonna toss the blue since I think we're done with it. Actually, that's probably part of his eye. You know, the whites of your eye. Oh, his eye is very green now. That's the thing with pixel art in Minecraft, is you never get exactly the colors you want. I am going to try to do the best I can to approximate the colors on his robe there, though. So I'm going to go with sand and sandstone for this, because they seem to be about the right colors, actually, looking at it. Actually, I think I might need some gray in here, too. Go ahead and grab that. Ooh, silverstone. Yeah, let's build it from that. I can use light gray. That looks to be about the right color, too. Boom. Alright, goody. Goody. Let's go ahead and put the gray in. Some gray there. 3 pieces of gray here. But yeah, so that's... Whoa! Fell in the water. Hit the spacebar a little bit too rapidly there, trying to float back up. But yeah, so that's what I've been up to lately. How about you guys? You got finals coming up? I'm sure if you're in college, university, as it is abroad, you have finals approaching rather soon, I'd think. I don't know. Apparently in Australia, the schedule is totally off sync with the schedule in the States, where not only are your seasons opposite ours, but your school and such also starts and ends like a month different from ours. And it's just weird. I don't know. Is that all the gray? That was pretty quick. Let's go ahead and do the sandstone next. This is sort of going to be the darker of the two yellows in his cloak. This might look a little funny at first, but once you put it all together, it's sort of... when all of a sudden it's like, oh, that does actually look a little bit like Cecil. Okay. Am I doing this right? Yeah, right there. It's hard to tell, and it might be really hard to tell in my video when the picture is small, but there actually are 2 colors in his cloak. There's a light, it's like an off-white eggshell color, and then there's sort of a tanner off-white color. It's a little bit darker. And I'm just putting in the darker of the 2 right now. Yeah, it probably is really hard to tell. But, wait a minute, I missed some gray here. There we go. Is that all the gray? I think I missed a little bit up here. Or the dark. The dark off-white. That's just such a dumb name for a color. Nothing is actually dark off-white. Okay, now for the sand, it's going to be like not quite the right color. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put sandstone underneath, since it doesn't really matter what the underside of this looks like. I'm going to put sandstone underneath here on the blocks that I want to put sand in, because otherwise, of course, the sand will fall into the ocean, and that would be really annoying. There's a couple more places. Let's see. I'm flying all over the place, getting myself confused. Alright, can I drop in here without hitting the edges? Yes. I want to put some here, there, and there. Let's see if I can shoot back out of here. Excuse me. Pardon me. Well, excuse me, princess. I think we might want some sandstone in that square. And you see, if you just put the sand in, it's like, oh, this takes forever. And it does take ages to get it to fill in. See how many layers you have to put before you catch up. The ocean's kind of deep right here. It's faster just to drop in and, whoops. Drop in and put a block underneath. Do I need any more while I'm down here? I probably do, but whatever. I can't tell where I am when I'm underneath. So it's harder to see what the heck's going on. Haven't zoomed out in a while, and that's sort of intentional. But I want to see how far I am. Because I basically try to sort of, shield myself from the result for a bit before I finish, because then when I zoom out and see what it looks like from far away, I can decide if it looks right or not without having to watch it all come together. Because that's when you start second-guessing yourself, is when you're paying too much attention to it. That goes for cooking, too, incidentally. If you're paying too much attention to it, you're going to start second-guessing how long it's actually been on, or whatever, or whether it's too hot or something like that. It's one of those things. A watched pot never boils, they say. That applies as well. a watched pixel art will probably eventually get done, but you're probably going to second guess yourself a lot. And pretty much my motto is, if I like it, it's good enough. I'm not really, if I were an actual artist like working on a commission or something, you'd have a customer or someone that you had to please. But the only person I have to please is myself. So, oops, I guess I'm using yellow for this. Doesn't matter, it's underneath. Can't see it through the sand. Oops, I landed on it. Can I fly? Thank you. How much is left? His hands and his skin. Now the skin's going to be a little tricky. There's no good color in my texture pack for skin. And it really irritates me, actually. But there's pink. There's sandstone, which I actually use for skin in some characters. There's mushroom, if they're really tan. Oh, and that's really it. I think, See, Cecil does not have pink skin. He has pale skin. Oh, man. This is always the hardest part, is trying to figure out what color would look right in the skin. There's nothing on the second page here, so I'm not missing anything. It's all going to be right up here. Don't want to use pumpkins. I don't want to use orange or pink. Brown is way too dark, so I might... I don't know here, I don't know. I wonder if his cloak is meant to be more white, and my interpretation of this sprite is a little bit off. I don't know. I don't want to make his face white, though. I don't want to make it off-white either. It's too bright. So I think we're going to have to go with something a little creative here. How about... what I need to do is just like edit in some more blocks. I need to make a color palette mod that just adds a bunch of different colors in the background here. I could use pistons, but that would look weird from above. Let's try sandstone. Oh man, it's gonna look strange for the brighter bit. And what about the darker bit? I don't have a darker block, man. I got creative and used soul sand over on Robo. That worked out nicely. Okay, I don't know why when my mouse starts to go down here, I'm desperate because I'm not finding the one I want. Oh god, this video's getting long. All right, just pick something, dude. Oh, the indecision. Oh, the humanity. Get it? Because it's a cut. No, never mind. How about endstone? Let's see what color that is. Ah, hell, it's two tones. We'll use it. Sandstone for the darker tones. Endstone for the brighter. Heck, I should have used this in his cloak. Whatevs. Always free to edit. I can go back and change it if I decide that I don't like the way it ends up. Probably won't. It's probably going to end up fine. Like, remember my motto, right? If it's good enough, or if I like it, that's good enough, or something. I can't remember what it was now. Alrighty, I think that's all. Let's see how it looks. Yeah, it's a little weird. Let's try zooming out more. That always helps. Actually, that looks alright. That does look like Cecil. The color's a little strange. Should have gone for the darker one in his eye, I think. Let's change that. It takes so long to go down. Half the time when I'm going down, I just turn off flying mode and fall and catch myself. Okay, so that'll help. Endstone looks a little weird, doesn't it? I could use glowstone for his face, but see, I made glowstone look like a lantern. So that might be a little strange. And his face would glow at night. That would be interesting. You see the black outline's gonna look really weird though as part of a face. So that's a no-go. I guess he's just really pale, whatever. But maybe if I made more of his cloak white, that would make the skin look less pale. Let's try that. Let's replace the sand with white wool. This is so irritating for me now because it's like, you know how much trouble it is to put sand in something? In fact, if possible, you should probably avoid using blocks that fall unless you're building things this way. Oh yeah, the reason I'm doing them horizontal, that I never really finished explaining, was that I don't want to have them be vertical and end up being so tall that I can't finish them. I've had that happen before where I got halfway up something and was like, shit, I just hit the block limit. That looks a little bit better. That brightened him up a bit. Maybe I can use sand for... Oh god. I'm getting creative again. Maybe I could use sand for this, and then I might want to switch the sand to his face and hands, and then use the end stone for his cloak. I don't know. That could work. Whatever. I might fiddle with it more on my own, but I'm going to end this video here. I think he looks pretty close actually to the sprite. The sprite certainly is right. It's just the colors that are a little wonky, I think. So thanks for watching. Thanks for commenting, and let me know what you think of my Sea of Sprites. If you have any good sprite suggestions, let me know. Preferably ones about this size. So thanks for watching, which I think I already said. So triple outro. Bye! Oh, and good luck on your finals.